Should your agency niche down? The real answer. So every agency guru on the internet tells you the same thing. Pick a niche immediately. And if you're sitting at 10K, 15K, maybe 30K a month, wondering if you should finally niche down, you've probably heard this advice thousands of times. But here's what nobody tells agency owners. Niching down is powerful, but only when you do it at the right time. Because if you niche down too early, you kill your agency before it even starts. And if you wait too long, you stay stuck, spinning your wheels, never breaking past that ceiling. So today, I'm going to tell you exactly when you should niche, when you shouldn't, and how to do it without pigeonholing yourself into poverty. Look, I've been building agencies for 12 years. My first agency, I bootstrapped it from $400 in my pocket to $8.4 million a year, 75 employees, 3 offices in 2 countries. I then sold it in 2023, and I started a second agency, which was a sales training firm for SaaS companies. I got it to $180,000 a month in 6 months and sold it to a private equity firm after that. Today, I run a marketing agency. We're at 7 figures a month. We have 47 people, and it only took us 2 years. I've also mentored over 700 agency owners. I've seen every mistake, and I've made most of them myself. And the niching down question, it's the one thing that trips up most agency owners more than anything else. So let me break this down for you the way nobody else will. So here's the trap most beginners fall into. They think if I just pick the right niche, clients will magically appear. They're at zero, they have no clients, they have no validation, they have no data. And usually they'll go something like, all right, I'm going to niche down into dental practices in Ohio. Why? Because some guru told them to do that. But here's the real problem. You don't have any proof that dental practices in Ohio need what you're selling. You don't know if they'll pay. You don't know if you can even get their attention. You're just guessing. And when I started my first agency, I made this exact mistake. I thought I'm going to focus on e-commerce brands in the fashion space. Sounds smart, right? Wrong. I had no clients in fashion. I had no case studies. I had no idea if they even wanted what I was offering. I spent 3 months trying to break into that niche and got nowhere. So eventually I pivoted. I went broad. I took anyone who would pay me. You know what? That's exactly what I needed to do. Because I needed data. I needed to see who would actually pay for my service, who got results, and who I enjoyed working with. And that's the misconception. Niching down is not a magic bullet. It's a strategic move that you make after you have the information. All right, so when should you not niche down? Let me give you the signs. Sign number 1, you have no clients yet. If you're at 0, your only job is to get your first paying client. Any client. I don't care if it's your cousin's landscaping company. Just get paid, deliver a result, and build proof. Sign 2. You have no validation. If you haven't delivered results for at least 5 to 10 clients, you don't know what works yet. You're still figuring out your offer. You're still learning fulfillment. You're still testing messaging. Niching down at this stage is like trying to build a house before you even know how to use a hammer. Sign 3. You're guessing instead of using data. If you're picking a niche because it sounds good or because you saw someone else do it, stop. That's not a strategy. That's hope. When I started my second agency, I didn't just wake up and say, I'm going to train SaaS sales teams. I looked at my past clients. I saw that SaaS companies paid the most. They got the best results. They referred me to other SaaS companies. That's data. That's proof. Sign 4. You're picking a niche out of insecurity. A lot of agency owners niche down because they feel like they're supposed to. They feel like they're not real unless they have a niche. That's ego and that's fear. Don't let insecurity drive your business decisions. Sign 5. You're choosing based on trends and not strengths. AI agencies are hot right now. Everyone's pivoting to AI. But if you don't know AI, if you don't have any AI clients, if you're just chasing the trend, you're going to get crushed by people who actually know what they're doing. Pick a niche based on what you're good at, not what's trendy. Sign 6, niche paralysis. This is when you spend 6 months researching the perfect niche and never actually start. You're stuck in analysis paralysis. If this is you, just go broad, start, get clients, figure it out as you go. Momentum beats perfection every time. All right, so the question becomes, when are you ready to niche down? Here are the signs. The first sign is you know who pays the most. After working with 10, 20, 30 clients, you start to see patterns. Some clients pay 2K a month, some pay 10K, some pay 25K. When you know who pays the most, you niche towards them. Sign 2 is you know how to get the best results. Some clients implement everything, they see massive growth, they refer you to other businesses. Other clients ghost you after 2 months. When you know who gets the best results, you niche towards them. Sign 3, you've delivered enough projects to actually identify patterns. You start to notice every time I work with multi-location service businesses, they have the same problem and I solve it the same way every time. That's a niche. Sign 4, your offer is validated. You're not still figuring out what you're selling. You know your offer works. You have case studies. You have testimonial. Now you can niche. Sign 5, you want to scale systems and team. When you're ready to hire, when you're ready to build SOPs, when you're ready to scale, niching makes everything easier because now you're solving the same problem over and over. If you can templatize, you can train people fast. Sign 6, you know the client's deepest pain. This is a big one. When you've worked with enough clients, you start to hear the same pain points over and over. I can't get leads. I can't close deals. I can't scale without burning out. When you know the pain, you can niche around solving it. And that's when everything clicks. All right, so here's the framework I use. And this is what I teach every agency owner I work with. Most people think niching down means picking an industry. I work with dentists. I work with real estate agents. I work with SaaS companies. That's one way to niche, but it's not the best way. Here are the 3 ways to niche. Option 1, by industry. This is what we call a vertical niche. Pick a specific industry and you go deep. For example, I only work with dental practices. Option 2 is by service. This is what we call a horizontal niche. You pick a specific service and you offer it to everyone. For example, I only do SEO for local businesses. Option 3 is by painful problem. And this is the best way. You pick a specific problem and you solve it for anyone who has it. For example, I help multi-location service businesses generate leads without paid ads. And this is the most powerful way to niche down because it's not about the industry, it's about the pain. And the pain is universal. When I started my second agency, I didn't say I work with SaaS companies. I said I train sales teams to close enterprise deals. That's a problem. That's a pain point. And it turned out that SaaS companies had that pain the most, which is why they became my niche. But I didn't start with the industry. I started with the problem. That's the difference. Now, here's the trap you need to avoid. Bad niching leads to a few things. Being underpaid, being seen as a commodity, servicing the wrong clients, getting stuck with low MRR, and killing future scalability. This is what I call the pigeonhole trap. You niche so narrow that you can't charge premium prices. You can't scale and you can't grow. For example, I do Facebook ads for chiropractors in Texas. That's too narrow. You've boxed yourself in. But great niching leads to a few things. Bigger retainers, clearer messaging, easier fulfillment, faster hiring, and premium positioning. For example, you can say something like, I help multi-location businesses scale to 10 plus locations using local SEO and performance marketing. That's broad enough to have a big market, but specific enough to have a clear message. That's the sweet spot. All right, here's the exact framework I use to help agency owners find the perfect niche. Step 1 is to analyze your wins. Go through your past clients. Who got the best results? Who was the easiest to work with? Who referred you to others? Write them down. Step 2, follow the money. Who paid you the most? Who renewed? Who upgraded? Money is data. Follow it. Step 3, clarify the problem. What pain point are you solving repeatedly? Is it lead generation? Is it sales training? Is it scaling operations? When you can answer that question, you have your niche. And here's the proof this works. When I sold my second agency to a private equity firm, they didn't buy it because I worked with SaaS companies. They bought it because I had a repeatable system for solving a specific problem, training sales teams and closing enterprise deals. That's the power of problem-based niching. Look, I know niching feels scary. It feels like you're saying no to opportunity in a lot of cases. It feels like you're limiting yourself. I get it. I've been there. But here's the truth. Niching isn't about limiting yourself. It's about clarity. When you're clear about who you serve and what problem you solve, everything else gets easier. Your messaging gets clearer. Your sales calls get easier. Your fulfillment gets faster. Your team knows what to do. And you stop wasting time on clients that just aren't a fit. That's what I call real freedom. So if you're sitting there wondering, should I niche down? Should I not niche down? Just ask yourself the questions. Do I have data? Do I know who pays me the most? Do I know what problem I solve the best? And if the answer is yes, then yes, it's time to niche down. But if the answer is no, then no. Go broad, get clients, build proof, and then come back to this video in 6 months. All right, so that's the real answer to the niching down question. And if you found this helpful, do me a favor and hit subscribe. I make videos like this every single week, breaking down what actually works in the agency game. And look, if you're serious about building your agency, if you're stuck at 10K, 20K, 30K a month, and you want to break through to 6 figures and beyond, I work one-on-one with 6 agency owners every quarter. We meet every week. We build your systems, we fix your offer, we get you clients. And I open up my entire network to you. I've helped agency owners go from 15K a month to 90K a month in just 4 months. I've helped people go from 0 to 20K a month in the same time. If that sounds like something you need, click the link below and book a call with me. Let's see if we're a fit. But only if you're serious, because I only work with people who are ready to do the work. All right, that's it. See you on the next one.